Hi everyone, welcome back to Almost Normal. The other day I had one of those experiences where it felt like the algorithm had somehow keyed into my psyche without me uttering a single word of what I was thinking. I started to scroll through TikTok and I saw post after post of the most relatable content to the previous thoughts that I was having. And in that moment, I was like, oh shit, what I am thinking, what I am feeling is not a unique experience in the slightest, as I thought it was. It is not a unique experience. It is something that runs deep in the female psyche. And in that moment, I was like, holy hell, we need to talk about this. Because what the fuck? What the fuck? Earlier, I was getting ready to go on a night out. And when I say night out, I mean dinner with my husband and my two little brothers, all right? That's the kind of night out I fuck with at 27 years old, all right? I'm a grandma in bed by 9 p.m., no later. Anyway, had a shower, put a little makeup on, and then I started to figure out what I was going to wear for an outfit. And bear in mind, it was about 100 fucking degrees in London. We are going through some sort of heat wave as we are today, which is why I have an absolute Sula going on right now, sweaty upper lip alert. Put an outfit together and I was like, any inch of breeze I feel blowing towards me, I must experience as much as possible. So we need skin showing, baby. So I landed on, after throwing all of my shit around the room for like an hour before, I landed on a pair of cute black tailored shorts and a strappy meow vest top, okay, and a little pair of ballet pumps. Super comfortable, super cute, super cool, lovely. Then in that moment, as I was looking in the mirror and genuinely ready to leave, put a little perfume on, put my keys in my bag, ready to go, that same thought that comes into my mind came again. And I thought it was interesting that even though I was going out with my brothers and my husband, who are three grown men who are very protective of me, I thought it was interesting that these thoughts still came up even then. And that led me to believe it doesn't matter what the scenario is. If I am going out of my house past 7 p.m. or whenever the sun goes down, these thoughts will arise. And the thought was this: I don't really feel like getting that kind of male attention. I don't really feel like I want to attract any attention that I don't want. And so, even though it was about 100 degrees, I couldn't fight these feelings. And for a moment, I was like, Rita, look, you're the only one that feels this way. You should just ignore them. But I couldn't. I could not ignore these thoughts. And so I turned to my dresser. I took out a frumpy black thick cardigan because it was all I kind of had. And I put it on. And although I was fucking uncomfortable, hot and sweaty beyond, I was much more comfortable in a different way. Once we left the house, we got on the train to go out. That's when I started to scroll through TikTok. And it was in that moment that I realized that what I was experiencing was not a unique experience at all. This is something that runs deep in women. This is something that runs fucking deep. The first post I saw was this girl, and it was her dancing around in a cute little outfit, and the caption was, when you're wearing a super cunty outfit, cute little black bodycon, lovely. Then it cut to her looking sad, walking back to her dresser, and the caption had been replaced by just the word men. And it was in that moment I was like, holy hell, we need to talk about this. Because what the fuck, okay? What the fuck? I have extreme OCD. So I've always kind of thought that it was my internal sort of neuroses, my internal sort of irrational thinking that made me feel this way. But it is clear that it's not. Unless every single woman in the world has OCD, which I just don't think so. And again, I'm not saying every single woman in the world is feeling this way, but I do think it's interesting that I saw many, many, many posts about this online, which is something I love about social media, something I love about TikTok and Instagram. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff, but one thing I fucking love is the fact that you can feel so much less alone and you can learn so much about just other people's personal lives. I love it. Anyway, here's my thought. Why do men believe that everything we do, including the things that we wear, why do men believe we are doing it all for them? Why do they believe that we pick out each color, each outfit, each sleeve type, just with them in mind? Who has told them this? Who has given them this male privilege, this ego, that has convinced them that everything a female does is purely for their pleasure? Please let me know who did this so I can fucking fight them, because I don't understand it. My initial thought when I go out is I should probably cover up more. But I genuinely do not think that it matters if you're wearing a tube top and a tiny little skirt, or if you're wearing a frumpy long sleeve shirt and baggy jeans. I don't think it matters. I think men will interpret your outfit no matter what. And I saw again this TikTok of this man complaining about the size of women's gym outfits, and he was saying how unattractive it was, and then he used the phrase leaves little to the imagination. And this other girl reacted to the video, and she was saying that the term leaves little to the imagination is incredibly morally disingenuous, because it's inferring that no matter what she is wearing, no matter how covered up she is, you will still be imagining her naked. You will still be imagining what's underneath her clothing, all right? So it doesn't matter if she's wearing a bikini or if she's wearing a long sleeve, long floor-length dress. It doesn't matter. You will still be sexualizing her body. You will still be objectifying her. That thought actually just reminded me of this time I went to go see some music with some friends, and I wore a pair of tailored trousers and an I Heart New York t-shirt. And the amount of men that came and tried to use that t-shirt as a conversation starter was absolutely diabolical. I was like, hello? Hey, are you from New York? Oh, you love New York? What do you love about New York? Oh, what part of New York are you from? Oh, you have a British, like, are you from New York? Darling, this was not put on for that, okay? And it is safe to say I did not wear many slogan t-shirts out in public after that. And it is so wild to me that a slogan t-shirt is something that I have crossed off the list of potential night out outfits. A slogan t-shirt. It doesn't matter how much skin you're showing. Men will perceive it as they wish. The male ego, the male privilege will always convince them that whatever we wear is for them. A slogan fucking t-shirt. That was not an in. I did not put that on before I left the house thinking, I hope all these people will ask me about my t-shirt. No. I think about it now though, and I don't wear them. I think I actually that night was like to my friend, this is the last time I'm wearing this t-shirt out in public. Like, no, I can't deal with this. This is so horrible. If any men are watching this, I would just like to say, I will spend hours putting together a cute outfit, doing my makeup. I will spend hours in bed watching Get Ready With Me's, watching makeup tutorials, even if I have no fucking plan on doing that makeup look myself. There is something so satisfying and wholesome about the process of getting ready. I think it comes from being a kid for me and going into my mom's closet and trying on all her heels and falling over because they're obviously 20 times too big for my little feet, and stealing her lipsticks and smearing it all over the walls because I don't have any fucking idea what lipstick is, but I just feel like I want it and I want to use it. Like, getting ready, putting makeup on, putting an outfit together feels like a fantasy I had when I was a kid. A fantasy of having all these clothes that fit me, that I could put together, that were mine, that I owned. Like, there's something about that that's so childlike in my opinion. And to have that demonized, to have that made to seem like something sinful, something that we're doing bad, something for men is so sad, and it almost gives me the same reaction that I would get if someone were to offend a family member of mine. You know, that sort of deep guttural reaction where you're just like, you don't know this person. This is not yours. You don't have anything to do with it. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. And I feel like that is the sort of reaction I get when it becomes about men, when men assume it's for them. And I'm like, you don't know how deep this goes. You don't know the history between me and getting ready. You don't. I will spend hours and hours and hours in my bedroom just to get into my car, drive straight to my friend's apartment, park my car, walk into the apartment, sit and watch a movie with her. I will see no men, but I will spend that time, that effort, that money to look good when I go and do that. And not all the time. A lot of the time, no, but sometimes I do. And so where is the logic in that? If we do it all for you, if we do it all for men, where is the logic in me spending time, money, and effort on an outfit, on makeup, if I know that I'm not going to cross paths with any of you at any point? Where is the logic in that? Do you think that women, if we don't think we're going to see any of you, just have greasy hair, no makeup, and sweatpants every single day? However, again, I want to go back to my point. I don't think it matters what you're fucking wearing. I think men will always interpret it as a message just for them. It's sort of a lose-lose situation if you think about it. I've seen plenty of TikToks of men complaining about the way women dress when they go to the gym. The gym. Like, what do you want us to wear? It's hot. Like, what do you want us to wear? It's hot. We're working out. What do you want us to wear? What would make you happy? Because, and I can tell you this, if a girl goes to the gym in sweatpants and t-shirts, you also have something to say about it. Absolutely. So it makes no difference. The double standard is insane. If you see a man walking down the street in a tank top, you will not for a second think that he is doing it for the pleasure of women. You will never see a man dressed in a suit walking down the street and think, oh, he's dressing up for me. Women don't think like that. We think, oh, that guy is dressed up because he's probably going to work. Oh, he's probably wearing that tank top because it's really hot outside. I don't think any woman has ever seen a man dressed a certain way and thought, that was all for me. That was all for me. No. So why is there an assumption on the other way? Why is there an assumption the other way? Explain that to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Explain that to me. The only reason there is an assumption is because you sexualize the female body so deeply that you can't see it as anything other than that. I think that the fact that our decision-making process in getting ready for a night out isn't all about us is sad. That there is so much consideration put in what attention will this bring me and do I want that? And it's definitely not an autonomous decision where we say, oh, I like this color, I like this outfit, I like this dress. There is a whole other layer to it that we have to consider. And I just think that's really sad because the amount of cute outfits I put on and I've had to change into jeans and a top just because of this whole scenario, like, it's sad. You know, I put my mental comfort over my physical comfort because I just want to feel safe. And I think that is a really sad reality. I just feel it should not be that way. Women don't live for your approval. As a woman, I can tell you that for fact. Okay? Anyway, I love you guys. I'm gonna go now. But keep that in mind. It's a universally understood fear that women have, and I hate it. And if you're a man watching this, make the women around you feel comfortable and take yourself off that pedestal and understand that not everything we do has you in the back of it. Every decision we make has you in the back of it. No, I don't know what I'm saying, but you understand what I'm saying. Women are autonomous creatures. Like, we do things for our own pleasure all the time. Mostly we do, okay? All right, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I will see you next time. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. It's super helpful to me. But I love you, and I will see you when I see you. All right.